Hi, John.
Hey, Lex.
What?
Hey, Lex. Because this week we're doing no.
Oh. Oh. I mean, congratulations. That's all I could. That's all I could say. Yeah, we watched Noah.
Oh, that made me happy.
God said to Noah, there's gonna be a floody. Rain came down, it started to get muddy. Get those animals out on the arky.
Leave me alone.
Dad, the heathen's getting away.
I see him, son.
John, we watched Noah, the Darren Aronofsky film, which I'm pretty sure he said it last episode, but never really sunk in. This is like, oh yeah, Darren Aronofsky, like that guy that did all those other movies I've seen.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It just didn't put it together. I think because he's usually so heavy-handed with his biblical metaphors, not like writing an actual movie that's about the fucking Bible. Yeah.
Right. Well, he also doesn't do things of this scope. And probably for good reason.
Yeah. This is a weird movie, John.
It's weird, yeah.
This is a weird one. I watched the whole thing in one sitting.
Mm-hmm.
All 7 movies.
Uh-huh.
And I think I gotta just talk it out with you, and I'll figure it out, because I don't know if I liked it. I think it's weird. I don't hate it. I know that, but I don't know if I like it. It's so fucking weird, and there's so many just
movies,
odd things happening. It just blew my brain off.
Yeah. I can say that I don't like it. It's not even, I don't think it's worth discussing in the same way that other near misses have been on the show before. Where it's oh, it kind of could have worked. It's just weird. And for someone that even liked Mother and stuff like that, this one just, it was a misfire in a lot of different ways.
Well, I think there was a lot to talk about in it. But not in the same way as Mother. Mother was hey, let's talk about this as a film. Mm-hmm. You know, this is more, let's talk about it for its filmic quality and what it was bringing to us. This is more, let's talk about what happened in this. Why are these things in this order? What just happened? Why did they not edit? Why did they make this movie? There's a lot. I can say this though. I like a rock monster.
The rock monsters I found ultimately confusing. So the thing is with this movie is when you start it, you think okay, here we go. This biblical epic. There's going to be the 10 Commandments or something like that. And then there's fucking rock monsters and mining civilizations.
Yeah.
It really starts out as this weird, as this very strange, Marvel Comics biblical story, or the Bible meets Lord of the Rings or some YA novel that it doesn't stick with. For certainly the rock monsters and stuff hang around for a while, but just the tone isn't that for the entire time. It's for the first hour it's that, and then it becomes another movie. Yeah,
there's a lot of movies smushed together, and there's a lot of heavy-handed stuff. The environmental message was very get it. Yeah. At one point I want to see one of the Cain's fires melting a glacier or something.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I like the rock monster in just design, because I don't know if you ever read the Bible, the actual Bible. The angels they describe in it are fucking weird. They're they got 8 arms and 6 different heads, and one's a chicken and one's like a snake. It's just this fever dream is what angels look like in the actual Bible.
Yeah, isn't one of them all eyes or something?
Yeah, and that's why I like these rock guys. It's that is what they look like. They just be these demented, friggin' just weird hulking messes. But that one's got a scorpion sting at the top, and it's
Well, my issue with them is less the design and more the animation of them seems like it was, let's do CG, but have it look kind of Ray Harryhausen. Because some of it seemed really kind of chunky or, stilted, like stop motion. in a way that that didn't seem right, that felt off. And then just what happens later with them kind of drives me nuts. Whatever.
That's a good way to put it. I liked how they're going with the Harryhausen style because it felt like that's how rocks would. I mean, I'd like you to animate rocks,
but to me, just make it stop motion. Then, like I think that's what was.
Don't do it CGI. Maybe just actually do it stop motion. Yeah, that actually
just actually do it. But yeah.
All right, so I have a lot of questions, and you being the biblical scholar here are going to have to answer them.
Yes, that is correct.
I guess question number one. For you in the back.
Mm-hmm.
We opened with Noah and Noah's dad. And John, I'm going to have to be real. We're starting off early. I don't know anyone's name. I mean, I know a few names.
Noah.
But I'm just going to call him by the actor or description. Let's not even try to correct me. I tried real hard, but there's so many dumb names in this. So Emma Watson, for one, is Emma Watson. I don't care what her name is. You feel free to call her by her name if you'd like.
I will.
Whatever the hell Noah's wife's name is. Don't care. Her name is Noah's wife. Anyway, it's Noah and his dad.
Nami.
yeah, cool. I gotcha. Yeah. Good for you, John. Rub it in. Don't care. That's their names. So Noah and his dad. I don't know.
Lamech.
What's his name?
Lamech, if I'm saying that right. Lamech.
Cool. That guy. They're hanging out and
Lamech.
So here's the first question. He's about to bless Noah with like the familial lineage powers that we kind of see later where he wraps his arm with a snake skin and he's going to touch him with it.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't the whole point of the Bible that the snake was bad? So is this entire movie a subtle anti-Jew message that there actually are the descendants of the snake?
The snake in this movie, in the flashbacks, like the snake sheds its skin and becomes evil. Then, like it's a snake, but then like it sheds its skin and becomes like this black snake.
Oh, okay. See, that's even dumber than I thought. Okay. See, I saw that part, but I just took it as like it was a snake shedding its skin in that like it showed its true colors kind of thing. Like, you know, the phrase snake shedding its skin.
I also just took the snake skin as I know there's there's a Jewish ritual of some sort that involves like there's a wrapping a belt or you know a cord around the arm. I only know this from Pi when the character goes to see like a rabbi. The rabbi does that.
Yeah,
and so I was a callback to that. I'm not familiar too much with the like I was raised on the Bible, not the Jubal.
Yeah, it's true.
Which is where we get the word Jubilee because it's a celebration.
And
that's not how I was raised.
And Jews are all tiny Asian girls that can make fireworks happen.
Yes, that's true.
Oh boy, all my references are really apparent, and everybody's going to know them. Excellent.
Yeah.
So no, the snake skin that's even dumber because like the phrase "snake shedding skin" is. I mean, that's okay. That part it set me on the wrong. Like it put me on a wrong path of. Oh boy, this movie's gonna play fast and loose with a lot of Bible stuff. Because I actually don't mind the rock monsters. Because in the Bible, they actually say there were monsters on the earth and shit like that. That doesn't say monsters. I forget. Well,
they definitely say like there was giants.
Giants,
around.
Yeah.
And they were the what do they call them? Like the it's almost like the first men or something. The mighty men of old, according to some translations. I don't know if that's where Goliath came from. If he's those same people or what.
No, I think he was just a regular giant. No, he was a claymation dog.
Oh, right, yeah. Helped out Davy.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, that's a weird thing, because didn't Davy kill Goliath in the story?
Yeah, well, see, that's the power of that cartoon, is that they were friends.
Or in the last episode, does Davy just get a slingshot and put a fucking rock through the clays? Like, the clay just sprays against the camera?
Not to spoil it, but yeah, Goliath gets rabies. And it's like, here's my dog, I'll take care of it. And yeah. Slings him.
Yeah, it was a great show. Also in that scene, did you laugh as hard as I did, where Noah's dad, old Lombok, goes, men, and then he turns around and there's an entire fucking army about 8 feet away from them.
Yeah. There's a lot about the whole difference between man and whatever they were. So I mean, because the whole thing opens with a voiceover It's Lamech telling Noah about basically what happened, and you're going to see the retelling of the killing of Abel by Cain several more times, and so you get that, and you get that his descendants were, flung out of the garden. I mean, they were already flung out of the garden, but they were, even more far flung and marked with the evil mark of Cain. But then they flourished and mined a whole bunch of stuff. Apparently,
well, they mined Zohar, which
don't mess with him. Oh, that's the Zohan. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Though weirdly enough, if you eat the Zohar, it does make you kick yourself in the face. It's the only thing I know about that was there's a seed in the trailer where he kicks really high, right?
Oh, kind of. Yeah, I don't really remember.
I didn't see the movie. But the Zohar is a book of Jewish mysticism, this giant multi-book tome. But in this, it's glowing rocks that explode and I think are also food.
Well, they're definitely fire. They definitely, they turn into fire. I don't know about the food.
Well, because don't they dig up food at one point?
I don't know.
Because early on, they're the creator provides for us. And maybe I just got confused. Maybe when they first dug up Zohar, I thought it was manna or something like that. Like that later book.
Mm-hmm. That's Exodus.
Yeah. It's just weird because they have civilization in this. So that's Aronofsky just wanted to do the environmental message of man spoiled the garden with his industrialization. And that's God's going to wipe us out. But there was a lot. Yeah. we can't debate the Bible, but just one quick aside. Fucking idiots that believe this shit is real are the reason that it's 3 days after an election and we don't know who the president is. You fucking drooling simps. Stop it. It's a goddamn metaphor. Okay. I forgot simp got taken over by creepy right-wing people. So pretend I said a different word there.
No, simp is still, it's okay.
Oh, is it? Okay. I only hear.
They're trying to. It's internet talk.
Okay, fine. Because I've been saying that since back when the internet was vaguely civil, and if 1994.
Oh, so day one, that was it.
Yeah, 1994. Me heard that, they'd be like, "Really? The internet's civil?" It's like, dude, you have no idea what it's going to turn into.
Yeah, you can no clue, buddy. So here's the thing I don't understand, and maybe you can explain it to me. So the young Tubal-Cain kills Lamech because he's like, hey, our civilization's in ruin because we've mined too much. Now we're coming to take your shit. And Lamech's like, nope, this is the creator's land. They never say God in this movie. It's always the creator. This is the creator's land. Get out of here. Tubal-Cain hits him in the head, kills him.
Yeah.
And then, what's his butt? Noah. Noah goes running. And the area that they are is surrounded by a fence almost. There's some skulls or some kind of totems or something like that. And then it just ends into rock areas. It's green and lush and it just ends and is kind of crummy and rock stuff. And a lot of the guys, when they're chasing them, stop at that point. They're like, oh, we can't go over here. But some do.
Yeah.
Is that just because that's where the rock people live?
That's where the giants live. Yeah.
Okay.
Because later, I don't remember if it's this scene or the one where Noah runs away, Noah and his family runs away. But they say that's giant territory or something like that.
Okay.
There's a throwaway line. Yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Well, also, what does Lamech need with explodey rocks?
He doesn't. Tubal-Cain does.
No, but that's what I mean. So what's the big deal? Why are you getting killed for these rocks?
Well, because that was powering their civilization. And they were running out. Yeah, and that's what they mined everything to. Yeah,
so why doesn't Lamech just move somewhere else? It's he's supposed to.
You mean Tubal-Cain?
No, why doesn't Lamech? If Lamech's living so if you're a person that has no use for gold, and you live on top of a gold deposit, and then someone says, "I'm going to smash your face in if you don't give me all this gold," why don't you just okay?
Well, because the creator told him that's where he should live. And you're not going to question the creator?
But the whole point of this is the creator stopped talking to people after Adam. None of them have talked to the creator.
Well, they're still imbued with they're descendants of Adam, so they feel like they're involved in some way. I just think it's where they live is more idyllic than where everyone else lives. So why would he leave?
Hey, because, you're supposed to be laid back. You're with God, bro. The creator. Yeah, some of this stuff is so stupid. Also, I thought Cain was supposed to be immortal. Isn't that the whole thing with Cain that he's he walks the world forever or whatever?
Maybe there's a few different people like that, but I do know that like he certainly did have descendants, and they all were supposed to
be vampires.
Have the mark of have the mark of Cain and all that.
Yeah, because also in the Bible, there's a lot of this movie that gets fucked up. Because I know a bit about the Bible. Like Noah's supposed to be like 500-600 years old at this point.
Yeah, I mean he's old because he dies at like 950.
Yeah, and Methuselah's like 970 something in the events of the world. In the events of this, the Anthony Hopkins years. I mean. So it's confusing, like the order of events and how long things take and why there was an industrial civilization.
Right. Why Methuselah was frankly even in this movie. Yeah. I also cannot hear the name Tubal-Cain without thinking of News Radio. Those of you that are familiar with that show, there's a thing where that's a phrase you can say to judges if you want to just get any crime dismissed in court. Because it's a secret word they use among themselves.
What?
Yeah, no, it's just a stupid throwaway joke in the show.
They do, but like, it's Tubal-Cain?
But it's Tubal-Cain, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, which is funny now thinking about that show, because in that show, Joe Rogan's character was supposed to be this weird conspiracy theorist guy. And it was dumb how conspiracy theorist he was.
Yeah.
But turns out, no, I guess you can make millions of dollars doing that.
Yeah, I guess art imitating life.
You just need to take DMT first. Which no one does later, so it's good.
Yeah, I'm already annoyed enough at Christians. Let's not get me started on fucking Joe Rogan listeners. We fast forward basically to Noah's now grown-up Russell Crowe.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and married to Jennifer Connelly.
Yes, Russell Crowe looking thick.
Mm-hmm. And beefy. So he's married to Name and has 2 kids at this point, Ham and Shem. I'm not sure if they have Japheth yet.
I think because it's on her teat basically the entire time.
Oh right,
at the beginning.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's a tiny baby.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the first time we meet them, they're like scraping up lichen or something for some reason.
Yeah, they're out foraging, and Noah is like, hey, don't take too much. Don't just pick a flower because we only take what we need, and God will provide it for us. And if we take the flower, then that flower won't grow anymore, and we need that flower to grow. Or some nonsense. So we know that Noah cares about the environment, man. Yeah,
I mean, that's fine. It's just... One of the fundamental problems is, like, essentially, God stops talking to humanity after the garden. Because he's all mad.
Mm-hmm.
But except for, like, Noah, where God, like, provides for him and shows with, like, absolute one-to-one confirmed that he exists.
I think it's more of a continued belief thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that God has talked to them. It's that, like, the descendants of Adam are specifically, or the good ones anyway, are specifically, touched by God in their minds. They have no evidence of this yet, but that that they are blessed, and so as such, they should be living in harmony with his entire creation.
Yeah.
Not necessarily that he himself was like, hey, buddy. Oh, I'm sorry, herself. Think about it.
I guess that makes sense. It's just, it's the same thing right now. People think God provides for them, and it's just, no, shut up. It's just, there's no way my brain's going to make this make sense. Cause it's just, he has firm belief that, blah, who cares? So, what's the name of the guy that plays, Cain?
That plays Tubal-Cain?
Tubal-Cain, yeah.
Ray Winstone.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot there was a scene with like actual Cain. Yeah, I mean, Tubal-Cain. He's great in this, but also terrible casting. Like,
well,
I really enjoy him, but boy, they probably should have got someone like that remotely fits the tenor of the film.
Well, I think that's the problem. So they add in this whole thing with this Tubal-Cain character as like this villain throughout the movie, and it isn't necessary. I think it undercuts a lot of the later stuff where it's sort of the internal family drama on the arc. It's like, why are you even still in this? This was supposed to be this representative of like man's ills. Now it's this story about how far you go for faith and all this stuff, and can man escape his own sins like that? And you're just like, but what if a man was really bad and that stuff doesn't matter? Also, like the decision to go British for all of this is very strange.
Very strange.
Because Jennifer Connelly's accent is not great.
You know what's fucked up? Is Emma Watson's accent is bad, and she's fucking British.
Yeah.
I don't know what she was doing, but her accent sounded fake, and that's her real life accent.
Well, I always wonder about that. For people like in Britain, or British people, that can recognize like really specific accents, like, oh, that's clearly like this East London accent, and that's,
Yeah.
that's just that. Like, if you're like, oh, hello, I'm supposed to be a prehistoric person. Ooh, tut, versus Ray Winstone, who's more like Cockney and, I'm dirty and whatever. Like, how goofy is that you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm a caveman. Hello.
Oi, slag, I'm from East Eden.
Yeah. Whereas for us, we're just like, yep, that's foreign. That's
Yeah.
how they sounded.
Yeah, maybe she's trying to put on a different kind of accent.
Yeah, I
Maybe
don't
she's
know.
going for East London, and it's just terrible. Her accent was all over the place. Yeah, very weird choice for that. When Jennifer Connelly puts Noah to sleep, she does this like forehead push.
Mm-hmm.
When they meet Methuselah later, he does the same thing to the kid, to Shem,
Yeah.
I think. So okay, one, does that mean that Jennifer Connelly and Noah are related? Because they both have magical, forehead touching powers. Because if these powers are passed down, right? Wouldn't that mean they would have to be close relatives?
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, it is the Bible, so yeah.
Yeah. She is a descendant of Cain. I mean, technically, yeah, they're all going to be relatives, but she's a descendant of Cain. And she was the only mentioned daughter of Lamech and Zillah, and their youngest child. Her brother was Tubal-Cain, while Jabal and Jubal were her half-brothers. So it doesn't say... Oh, yeah.
So why does she have magic god powers if...
If she's the daughter of Lamech, she would be Noah's sister.
Yeah, that'd be Noah's sister, which can't be right.
No, hold on. Well, okay, so looking at this family tree on Wikipedia,
Yeah.
the lines from Cain and Seth just go straight down. It goes Cain, Enoch, Arid, Muhajel, Methuselah. Then maybe are there two different Lamechs? Oh,
I don't
yeah,
know.
because he's a polygamist. He had two wives, Ada and Zillah.
Oh, I didn't know that whole poly thing was around back then.
Yeah. So this is a different guy. Because this Lamech, his wife was named Ashuma. But Methuselah with his dad. Right, so... yeah. So, no, I mean, they're technically related, but whatever.
Yeah, it's just because the idea is that like there's men, going back to you were saying before, that there's this outsider concept of men, and then these kind of like the chosen, the ones with superpowers.
Yeah.
And her having that go to sleep superpower, it just makes it confusing. But as I was saying that, I realized that Adam and Eve had to fuck their kids in order for humanity to happen, right? So, it's...
I mean, there's a weird thing, because since Cain gets cast away, I mean, he finds people, Like, when he's cast out of the Bible...
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, he gets cast in the Bible to like wander the cities of men, where it's like, where the fuck did they come from?
He settled in Nod, east of Eden.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird. I mean, it's just this movie kind of glosses over a lot of... That's a kind of the hard thing with going into a more sort of like a harder Old Testament biblical stuff, is that this early on, it's weird. And a lot of the plot hole stuff, for lack of a better terminology, or like, a lot of this kind of stuff that's just kind of glossed over, really makes you question what the fuck is happening.
Yeah, I think it's a fundamental problem of trying to adapt the Bible as like a linear story, because if you try to take it on its face value, it doesn't make any sense. It's shit, right? It's terrible. Like the Garden of Eden, there's two different versions of the same book. The Noah story, there's two different it's awful.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, just, sorry to Christians that are listening right now, but, if you believe in the literal word of that book, then you've got serious fucking issues.
Yeah.
So they run off, and they're ran off by Tubal-Cain into the land of the Watchers. And the Watchers are angels that were expelled from heaven because they liked Adam and Eve too much? Wasn't that?
Basically, yeah. Like they wanted to help them or something, and God cast them down. And I thought this was kind of cool, because they were beings of pure light. And then like God cast them, and they basically, I forget the way the actual way they worded it, but it's like they became entombed in this world. Like they became covered in rock and mud.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, the more like high concept JRPG style shit in this movie is pretty cool.
That's why I still don't know, as much as I get annoyed by some of the movie, I still don't know if I didn't like it because it's like, that's awesome. Like there's some really awesome shit in this. It's just the up until they meet the rock people, it's kind of boring. And then, well, we'll get to it, but there's a spot where the movie just slams the brakes and yeah. But all right, so they meet the rock people and they find a rebelled fallen angel called, do you know that one's name?
Was that Samyaza or was that Magog?
Samyaza, I think.
Yeah, voiced by Nick Nolte.
Yeah, it was something with a Y.
Yeah.
Oh, the Ugnaught himself, Nick Nolte.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I wish Baby Yoda was in this.
Yeah.
So,
because he would drown, and I'm for that.
No, he wouldn't. He'd go like, coo.
No, God would specifically be like, because there's only one of him. And they'd be like, hey, sorry, we tried.
He would use his force powers to stop the waters, and then he would find out that that Tubal Cain was running a cloning factory that he learned from the Angels of Camino.
Uh-huh.
So the rebel rock monster is like, hey, I'll help you sneak out of here, and they go and visit Methuselah, who's still alive on a mountain somewhere in Ireland, Middle East.
Yeah, like we skipped over the whole thing where like basically Noah has a dream, and in his dream the rains come, and he's convinced that was God talking to him, and so they need to go, and he sees the mountain as well, and he remembers that his dad lives there.
Yeah,
and in trying to get there, the rock monsters capture him, and then that one lets him go because he believes that I don't know why, I don't even remember what he does to make the rock monster go like, oh yeah, no, you're totally a chosen one. I think he says, you know, at the end he says, I see Adam in you, but I think he just spoke passionately. I don't think there was any like one thing, or maybe if there was, I forget about it, but I think it was just, you know, there was one guy that was open-minded enough, didn't have that rock hard thinking and right.
Let it go.
Yep.
So they go and visit Methuselah, who's played by Anthony Hopkins, who I love late career Anthony Hopkins so much. When big budget movies go, we need you to be like an Odin type. Got it. Show up, just say words like I normally say them, get money. There, I'm there for you.
Yeah, just be this kind of doddering but winking old man.
Yep. Exactly the same as his Odin role.
Yeah, well, yeah, totally. And I feel like something else too, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah, and he does the forehead push to Russell Crowe, which is great. But not first. He gives him drugs. He makes him trip.
Yeah, he's like, oh, did the creator send you here to have a cup of tea with the old man? And then turns out he spiked the tea with, I don't know, whatever biblical roofies are.
Probably frankincense.
Probably that's what that is. People are giving, hey, I heard you had a baby. You want some roofies?
Yeah. Wait, what the fuck? You show up with myrrh? Myrrh? Do you know the street value of that myrrh?
I figured maybe he could move it.
I tried myrrh once in a club. I ended up fucking. I'm not going to finish that sentence.
Or maybe myrrh is like an MLM, multi-level marketing thing, where it's like, look, I need Jesus in my downline. He can move this stuff for me.
Yeah,
win-win, baby.
You know what's weird is I think myrrh actually is like kind of an essential oil. So yeah, so he trips out and ends up getting. I think this is where he gets the instructions to build the ark. I mean, not directly, but he sees
the ark because he has this vision of him underwater. And this time, the first time he has it, it's all these dead bodies. And this time it's a bunch of animals swimming upward, which is hilarious. Like, it's goofy, but you're like, what the hell? And so I'm still on board with this movie. Because I'm like, okay, you're doing something this silly, but it's kind of working for me.
Oh, that reminds me. We skipped, not an important part, but one of the things I liked about this movie is, so I joked around with you, is like, oh, I hope they have a scene where Noah goes, oh, we forgot the fucking dinosaurs. Early in the movie, when we get introduced to man being around, is they're hunting an animal that doesn't exist. It's like a scaly deer.
Yes, yeah, it's like almost like a dog, like a armadillo dog.
Yeah, armadillo dog. Yeah, and I was like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, oh, that's so stupid. I love this movie that they actually introduced animals that are about to go extinct just because they can.
Yeah, it's great.
That's part of this is the dumb shit of the movie I like. It's like, not the movie, but all the dumb shit that happens in it.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. When it feels more like a YA novel or like some weird JRPG, I'm like, okay, I'm on board with this, but it stops doing that.
I watched the Shannara Chronicles, the Shahara, the something. It's a YA novel that got adapted by, I think, MTV into a
boy.
series. Look, I've been in quarantine and I live alone.
No, I get it. I get it.
My fingernails are bleeding from grasping onto my last shred of sanity. And, but one of the things is it's set so far in the future, that like elves and shit have like evolved out of regular humans.
Yes.
But all the ruins are still there. Like the Golden Gate Bridge is still like up and somewhat operational. Like,
it's kind of like Thundar the Barbarian. Yeah.
yeah. And it's just, it's laughably stupid. And that reminds me of this where, like this civilization that like destroyed the earth is still, it's just,
They have like mining technology. It's like, wait, what? People don't know they can eat eggs.
well, cause that's funny. Emma Watson makes a point of, in an interview, actual Emma Watson, not the character, in an interview, he goes, well, what's great about this is it's kind of unmoored in time. It could have happened thousands of years ago, could happen thousands of years from now. You know, like making a reference that like the industrial society that this is built on could be ours.
Oh my gosh.
And you know fucking stupid Aronofsky had that thought when he was doing this.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing, for it's like heavy-handed and kind of dumb in some ways that Mother is, like, at least that's done in this like hyper rock opera kind of way. You know, this like supercharged allegory, whereas this is like, do you get it? Do you get it, everybody?
Yeah.
It's man, you know. Yeah, he drugs him, and Noah sees this, and then is like, absolutely, okay, I gotta build this this boat. And Methuselah gives him this seed. He's like, oh, well, you're gonna need this. It's a seed from Eden that I still have for some reason, and that God chose you to do this, so here you go.
That's a weird plot point too. So Adam and Eve, when they got kicked out, they just like took some seeds with them.
Well, you know, they probably stuck to their clothes.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point. It actually did look a little like prickly. That's probably it.
Yeah. Well, and then so they're camping out that night, and they hear something. Does he have Illa at this point? I think they find Illa, the Emma Watson character, when they're escaping. They like they come across.
Sorry, yeah, no, they find her on the way to Rock Monsters. So they have her already. Yeah.
They find this kind of beaten up village that has been raided or whatever, and they find this nearly dead person that's been stabbed in the gut. It's a small young girl, and then they heal her up and take her along with, and that's Ela, who eventually becomes Emma Watson. But so that night he's singing her a song, like taking care of her, singing her a song that his father sang to calm her down.
Yeah, his father Javert. Yeah.
Yes, and he the next morning they wake up to rock monsters have found them, and but he's also planted the seed, or I don't remember the order if he planted the seed and the rock monsters found him.
So they find her on the way to Rock Monsters.
Mm-hmm.
They bring her, but she's just off screen to Methuselah. He gets the seed, then they go back to some empty land and plant the seed.
Right. Well, but the rock monsters have found them because the one bad rock monster, or the traitor rock monster that was supporting them, they find him.
Well, yeah, because I think he plants the seed first, because don't they see the seed growing, and that's what convinces it?
Well, yeah, because they're like, they plant the seed. They're like, yeah, we're coming to get you because you suck, and what the hell? Yeah, the seed starts like growing and like water starts spurting from it. And just a forest springs up overnight. And then you start to see like the water, like a river, like cut through land in this kind of cool, like stop motion-y almost.
Yeah, like
kind of like Morphe. Yeah, it's the river kind of coming. Although I kind of wish they had saved it, because they do the same effect later when you see the like creation of the world myth reenact, and that kind of remove some of the power of that, as much as I like that sequence later. But so they're convinced, they're like, oh, okay, well, we can see that, the creator really likes you, so let's help you build this ark. We will be your slaves now.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, they're used to it. I mean, they basically were God's slaves.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they know.
I mean, think about it. And also, what a jerk God is. Hey, I'm going to create you to be slaves. Oh, you disobeyed me once. Here, you're going to be covered in rocks for eternity.
Well, I mean, that's an interesting thing. I mean, that's more of a biblical thing, is that it has been brought up before that, like, God tells Noah, hey, I'm going to murder everyone. And Noah's like, yeah, all right. Whereas, I forget who it was. I don't think it was Jacob. There's someone later who actually, like, confronts God and is like, when God wants to destroy Sodom, and is like, hey, like, that seems dumb that you're going to just murder everybody. And God's like, oh, you're kind of right. Okay. So yeah, Old Testament God is just kind of a goofball. Like he's
Yeah, he's all over the place.
yeah.
Well, I think that's the whole story is, you kind of calm down when you have a kid. So,
Right, yeah, that's kind of what it is. He's still sowing oats and freaking out.
yeah, Old Testament is like young kegger God. He's like, oh, I can't believe I did keg stands and then, killed the firstborn of the Egyptians.
Yeah. Oh, I hate it when that happens.
Yeah. So, yeah, the rock monsters become their slaves. And then we fast forward like 10 years-ish.
Yeah.
And Emma Thompson is now grown up Illa. And her and Shem are together,
Yeah.
making out. Oh, please.
That actor that got to be Shem, like, was it just handsome? Was that your only check mark on that? Because like this dude is like modelly handsome. I was like, yeah, he's lived a real rugged life. And I know it's a movie and like it's already Jennifer Connelly and Russell Crowe still looking all kind of like very, cleaned up for, be living in dirt. But that guy was just ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, that actually distracted me too. He's way too handsome. You know what always gets me, and I'm not going to talk about teeth, shockingly enough, is how perfect Russell Crowe's nail beds are.
I didn't even notice, but
I mean, not just Russell Crowe, but anybody.
Yeah.
Like,
I like
anytime
how you started out like, look, I'm not going to be like weird and talk about teeth, but the nail beds.
Well, no, because normally I'm weird about teeth. I didn't really care about this one, but like when you have like perfect nail beds, like your cuticles are perfectly pushed back and like well shaped and stuff, and it's like you're living in this hard scrabble. Like, if you get cut once, you're gonna die. But you've got these perfect nail beds. It's like, this is. I mean, it's not like you can do anything about it, but it always distracts me.
But yeah, this kid looks like handsome Squidward. It's very upsetting.
It's very true.
But yeah, so they're building the ark, and then Tubal Cain finds them. And part of my problem with the whole like through line with Tubal Cain is presenting this like particularly later when he kind of for Japheth kind of becomes this like, oh, but maybe choose my side. Is that it's proven that God likes these people. Like he gave them, you watch this forest grow around you. You know that the creator exists and that apparently is got these rock monsters, angels helping you out. What is the argument after that? You know what I mean? Like if the whole thing is like, well, this higher power has absolutely directed me. Here is physical evidence to do it. Why would you even listen to Tubal Cain later? When he's like, yeah, but what if none of that was as good as what I've got, which is murdering people? That felt like a very false choice to me.
Yeah, I mean, I get, I don't know.
The issue is that Ham is insane with horniness.
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of, I guess that's kind of what I put it. I could see being tempted there because you're literally committed to a life of there's no women around. Mm-hmm. And, I'm not saying that defines a man's life, but it definitely defines the life of a 12-year-old boy.
It certainly defined Ham's life because Ham is very upset that Shem is going to have a wife. But come on, hey, how about this? Which is also because he's like, that's how I become a man. Who taught him that? He's with no one else other than Noah. So Noah's like, you got to score, and doesn't and then is responsible for that.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he has to understand how. Yeah, I don't know, because I mean, when did like Jewish culture kind of come up? Because these are the stories of the ancient I guess the predecessors of ancient Jews, but like. So this is pre-bar mitzvah? Like, I mean, is this pre-13 is an important number?
No, I don't know when that came into play, but it's less of a, well, the Torah wouldn't have been written yet because.
No, but I mean, aren't they like in that book? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like one of the foundation myths of their culture. It's just weird that their culture wasn't in it. If that makes sense.
Well, yeah, but I mean, but it's like, but if in order to have a bar mitzvah and become a man, you have to read a passage from the Torah. How do you do that when you're in the Torah?
Oh yeah,
this is some like Dan Harmon shit.
Hey, you can probably just say your name or something, or get Mr. Poopy Pants to do it.
Yes, exactly.
The thing about being with Tubal Cain, Tubal, who cares? Tupac. Tuvok from Voyager.
Two Balls Cain.
Yeah, Tuvok, the Vulcan from Voyager, is from his perspective, and he's one of those villains that's kind of right. Is so God or the Creator basically fucked off and has nothing to do with him and leaves him to live in shit. Why not just, I don't know, there's a certain amount of, like, he's kind of right. Like, if the only thing stopping you from, like, living the way that, like, you know, you want to live, being a capitalist basically, is, you know, fearing God. Because Noah, the only reason he's doing it is because he wants to please God. So if Tuvok has no chance of pleasing God, why not? Why not?
Well, because he doesn't understand why he doesn't please God. Because he even says, he has this whole speech where he's like, I give and take life just like you do. Am I not like you? How come you're not talking to me? Like, I'm living as the way you do. I create, I destroy just like you do. And God's like, okay, yeah, but you're being a dick about it.
No,
and
but God doesn't say that. At no point, because basically the story goes,
look, if you read God's blog, it's in there.
Your great granddad killed somebody, so you're fucked forever.
Well, I mean, so here's the thing, and this is fast forwarding, but after and this movie kind of touches on it, what happens is after they find land at the end, Noah becomes a vintner. Like, he begins growing vines and making wine. And at one point he gets drunk and nude, and Ham comes across him, sees his nakedness, goes and tells his brothers. His brothers cover him up. Noah, like, comes to him and is like, holy shit, did my son see my junk? And then goes up to him and is like, hey, guess what? You're going to be a slave, and all your descendants or whatever, they're all going to be slaves now. Go fuck yourself. So the Bible, you know, the punishment for weird infractions or for small infractions are huge in the Old Testament.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, you know, Tuvok Cain, he's got some good points here of why bow to someone, like, why try to please someone that already hates you for something your great granddad did. It's
yeah, I mean, like, I get that, but again, when you're like, oh, here's this thing that provided all, like, magically, that I watched a forest grow out of nothing. I watched, you know, water spring from nothing. The person that created these rock monsters that are in Thrall's name versus, like, look, I got some yelly dudes that listen to me. It's not really a competition in my mind.
No, but the yelly dudes have meat and there's women there.
Yeah,
that is kind of like, tempting.
Yeah, I get it that you're 12, but maybe if I was younger, I'd be like, yeah, absolutely. But in my mind, it's a settled thing. Because I mean, yeah, it would suck to live this sort of like this austere life that he wants to live, but or that the creator wants him to live, but. It seems like that the investment would be worth it. You've seen what can happen. Whereas you see the other side and like, yeah, but everyone is dying and we're falling apart.
Yeah, no, I got you. I'm more like the temptation to just like slip in one night, you know.
Yeah.
You know, find a nice lady for yourself and then get back on the boat and not tell anybody.
Yeah, if everything was going well for their society, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I got you.
If they're like, we're just trying to expand and you're in our way, but because they're like, no, our society is dying. It's hard to make that argument as much. So
they build up this arc, and it's almost done by the time we kind of join in, and Tuvok rolls up, and they have the conversation of like, hey, what's going on here, and blah blah blah, and it's like, well, why don't you let us on? We got a bunch of people here, and then it's cool. And Russell Crowe's like, nah, we can't do that. We only got to save animals, and Tubal Cain's like, if you refuse my dozens now, I shall return with legions. And then one pig runs out and runs on the boat. And everybody's like, oh, that's a really good Bible joke.
Uh-huh.
Because, in the New Testament, there's a demon called Legion. And then he gets put in a pig and run off a cliff. So their usage of the word legion. Bit. There's like 4 Bible scholars that are laughing their ass off right now.
That's who this movie's for. I think.
I don't know. It certainly isn't what this podcast is for, but I saw a chance to do a really bad joke and I went with it.
That's what this podcast is mandate. For. Yeah.
The contract we signed.
Well, and so that's all set in motion. And he's like, all right, well, Tubal Cain's like, we're going to go build some weapons and fuck these guys up. And what I like is, so because Ham is like, hey, this sucks that, these guys get wives and I don't. Noah apparently goes to the wife store.
Yeah.
Because he goes to one of their settlements and he sees a bunch of like, he sees how they live very lasciviously, and like people just like eating meat and scrounging around, and then women screaming and getting hauled off places, and then later being sold. And he's like, man, this wife store kind of sucks. I'm gonna go. And runs, because he kind of gets recognized, and he runs out, and Ham's like, hey, where's my wife? And he's like, well, sorry, no wives for you. We're gonna be it.
Yeah, this is where the big turn in the character happens, where you get to hate Noah for the next 2 acts of the 10-act play.
But he went to go buy a wife. That's what I don't understand, is that, like, what was he doing there then? That he's like, oh shit, buying wives might be bad.
I think it's that part where they had like the kind of sheep orgy where they threw the sheep in. Like that scene in Mother, which I won't.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's kind of a mirror of when they do that to the baby. But yeah, it seems like maybe he saw how the sausage was made and was like, yeah, man, this wife store is not what it's cracked up to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. I mean, it was slim pickings.
Yeah,
but
that's who was running it.
Yeah, that's why he ended up riding the. There's no way to word this joke. I was trying to some way make it that he rode the water from God and then waved his cowboy hat, like the scene in Doctor Strangelove, but like there's no way to parse that joke that it makes any kind of fucking sense.
No, but I appreciate you trying it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it too. So
they appreciate me.
At some point around here, the animals start coming in, and I do like the way they did this. Is basically the animals just show up to the boat. Because one of the dumbest, I mean, of the many dumb things about the Noah story, is that in one book it says 2 animals, the other it says 2 of every clean, unclean, and 7 of every clean, and that can't be in the same thing because contradictory evidence can't be. Anyway, so I like how the animals are just called to the boat instead of them having to find some way to do it, because boy, would that be annoying, to be like, what, I gotta go and find fucking penguins now?
Yeah.
But
I mean, they all just come to him.
Yeah, there's one scene where the elephants roll up, and Noah's looking down at the elephants, and I swear to God, I'm like, oh, they're gonna say I'm gonna need a bigger boat. They're gonna fucking do it. And thankfully they did, but oh boy, what a chance.
Well, I kind of like when all the lizards and stuff first start showing up, they're like, oh, great. That's cool. We get to take these with us. No, that's fine. That's great.
Yeah, it was nice that they put him to sleep with the sleep incense. That was efficient.
Which I liked that. I mean, is again, because it's so silly. Just that you get a scene of them like testing out some powder. Noah's holding a bird, and Name, Jennifer Connelly's like mixing up something. It's like, all right. And he holds the bird over the smoke and it falls asleep. And I'm like, perfect. Because it's like, it certainly takes that whole, well, all the animals, what are they going to do? Are they going to fight? Are they hungry?
Yeah.
Like, no, we just knock them out. And it's sure, why not?
Yeah, it's funny. One of the reviews I read for this movie pointed out that elephants can only sleep for 4 hours on their side, or their organs get crushed to death by their own weight.
That's hilarious.
Well, I mean, it's horrible in real life, but it's funny that in this story that's because it'd be really funny if after all that time on sea, about 9 months they were on the boat.
Yeah, well,
he starts waking everybody up and he's like poking the elephant. Elephant? Hello? Oh.
Yeah.
Oops. Hey, creator.
Yeah. Anyone need a giant paperweight?
Yeah. I mean, can we start eating meat just for like a little while? Because we got a couple of things. When you move, you always lose something. Well, all right. So unicorns, whoops. Elephants, oopsie.
Yeah.
And we kind of forgot about the giraffes. They actually just never got on the. So
yeah.
Dinah, what's?
Who's it?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, Dinah Shore. Yeah, 60 singer. No, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, yeah.
She's not on the boat.
Yeah. So around now, So Noah thinks, humanity sucks. We're going to be the last of us. It's going to happen. And Ham sneaks into the village, and he falls into the dead body pit, as every good village has, and sees a lovely young lady down there, and they fall in love on top of a pile of dead bodies.
Sure.
Some of which are probably her family, because at one point she points at the dead bodies when he asks about her parents.
Yep.
And Ham tries to sneak her out of the village, and she gets caught in a bear trap that was set up earlier in the film, which seems like a massive waste of metal for, the time. And also, I don't think they could have made springs back then. But anyway.
They had Zohar. It's fine.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Don't mess with the Zohar, part 2.
Yeah.
This time it's bear trap. She gets caught in a bear trap. He's too much of a wussy to get the bear trap open. And Russell Crowe doesn't save her. And she gets trampled to death.
Yeah.
At this point, I know you weren't you weren't tempted. You didn't get his being tempted by the lures of industrialized society. But, on top of that, the one girl that you nearly got back in your bedroom when you were 12 gets stomped to death. I'd be right fucking pissed at Dad.
No, like that I understand. I understand his anger at Noah. What I don't understand is him assisting Tubal-Cain, or like why they have Tubal-Cain try to woo him with this, like, with his speeches, rather than just be like, yeah, I hate your dad too, because that would be enough. I'm just saying his sales pitch was lacking.
No, I gotcha. Yeah. I mean, maybe off screen he'd be like, look, I'm going to see that lady over there. I'm going to make her show. She's going to, you're going to see some tits. So
yeah,
come join my side. He's like, fuck yeah, I'm 12. Mm-hmm. This is great.
Yeah. We'll invent some new women for you when we land.
Yeah. There's so much weirdness about this because the whole, anyway, I'm not going to get back into fucking your relatives thing. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Because if also this goes to if Ham knew the story of creation where Adam and Eve have some kids and then Cain has sex with the magical other people that weren't referenced where they came from, he would have to believe that there's going to be magical other people once they land on land, right? Because it already happened once.
Yeah. Why not?
It's just, anyway.
But like, so.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, so there ends up being this, like, as they're running back, because like the Tubal-Cain's people are closing in on them and closing in on they're moving against the Ark. That like, then you get this crazy, almost like battle, like Lord of the Rings style battle.
Yeah.
With these giant rock monsters just pummeling dudes. Which again was kind of cool. And so it's this whole rush to get everyone onto the boat, but not let any of them onto the boat. And they all get on the boat. And oh my God, the weather's starting. And then, it starts to flood, starts to rain.
Oh, well, before that, I like the part of there where the first rock monster is killed. Mm-hmm. And he explodes and he gets lifted, basically his angelic form, escapes and gets lifted to heaven.
Yeah. So
they all start using that as like a incendiary bomb. Like at one point, the one dude rips his own chest open so he could explode himself onto Tubal's hordes. It was a nice action set piece.
It was cool, but like, so killing yourself lets you into heaven?
Well,
you know what I mean?
by book 3, yes.
Yeah, I mean, and if you're a rock monster.
Oh no, I meant Muslims. Yeah.
Oh, sure, same thing.
Yeah, that's what I meant by book 3.
That's why they're called quarries from the Quran.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, that's all nice, cut.
Nice one, Alex.
So the rock monsters blow themselves up and allow Noah and his family to get on the Ark, and Tubal-Cain manages to sneak on as well.
Yeah. Oh, wait, sorry, we missed I'm not interrupting you for something stupid. We actually did miss a really important part.
What's that?
Jennifer Connelly goes to see Methuselah.
Oh,
and he's like, hey, can you talk
God.
Noah out of being fucking a goddamn nutcase? And he's like, well, his brother Loki will destroy Ragnarok. Mm-hmm. And nothing really comes of it, except he's like, hey, I'll come back with you. And then sort of doesn't. He just kind of hangs out in the woods near their boat looking for berries.
Yeah, looking for berries. Because like someone mentioned, like Shem mentioned earlier that he likes berries. He's like, oh, I got a taste for berries. And he runs into, what's her name? Illa
Thompson. Yeah.
Illa Thompson has this big thing of like, I'm barren. I can't be a good wife for Shem.
Why did I say Thompson? Sorry. What's her name? Watson.
Sorry,
that really bothered me. But wait, that's not the right thing. If it can't be fucked to remember the real names, at least know the actress's name.
But yeah, she has the speech to Jennifer Connelly where she's like, well, I can't give birth to kids, so I'm going to run away. Which, like, this bit feels all out of place with like the high fantasy bit, because like at this point in the movie, like everything is this much more kind of like plot driven thing, and you have this little like this whole sub story that's happening where she's like, I can't have kids, and we're going to this new land. This sucks. And has this teary scene and runs out and runs into Methuselah in the woods. And Methuselah's like, hey, help me find these berries. Oh, hey, you know what? I never met you. Even though you've basically been raised as my granddaughter, let me bless you. And like touches her belly, which magically heals her. Because why wouldn't it? They just leave him there. Like, because clearly I don't think Noah knew he was there and didn't care anyway. Because when the floods happen, he finds a berry and then just gets deluged.
I love that ending though, because he's like he's super content dude, and he's just happy to be eating a berry.
He's stoked. Yeah, he's like, I've been alive for 90 billion years.
Yeah, I think that was the idea. Was like, I think that's why he doesn't live with them either. It's like, kind of off screen. It's just kind of accepted that, look, I'm just alive because I'm not dead yet. Like, can we just call this like, you've been my grandkid for 500 fucking years. I love you, man, but like, I'm just going to go live in a cave until this sadistic cunt rod of a god finally lets me loose.
Yeah. Well, and so when they get onto the boat, and I like this because there's basically like just this one entrance to the boat, to the Ark, and when Noah escapes and it slams shut, like you're just in darkness and you hear them like moving around, and I kind of like that scary. It felt kind of scary in that moment because they're like, you hear them like pleading, like, "Where's Noah? Do we have everyone?" And how weird that would be to just be in this dark Ark. But then Noah starts telling them the story about creation, and this is actually like a really cool sequence. It reminded me a little bit of the fountain, but he tells the whole story again about Adam, Eve in the garden, and Cain murdering people. And it's again the same sort of stop motion thing as you see the universe being created, and it even goes into a little evolution, because you see like a fish come out of the water and become something else, and then become something else, and become a monkey.
That's a modern stupid reading of the book where they say like on the first day God blah blah blah, is that a day for God is like multi-billion years for the universe, right? So it's just like a way to kind of shoehorn evolution into the...
Well, yeah, it was almost actually, like, what do they call it? Intelligent creation or something like that.
Which I'm actually fine with. Because, again, like, I make fun of this book a lot. If you don't read it as a literal book, it's totally fine. Like, there's some cool stories in there, but you can't take it literally, or you want to kill you and everybody you've ever known, because there's some rules in there.
It's the same thing. Like, I would do that with, like, the Game of Thrones books. Yeah. Like, we have these armies of, like, 200 billion people. I'd be like, they didn't know how to count. It's like actually like 200 guys.
Oh yeah,
because it's just my brain couldn't comprehend that you would have an army that size or something. That there are that many people around.
Well, it's like if you ever read the Mahabharata, the kind of one of the foundation texts of India, they're like in the Bhagavad Gita, like one of the famous parts, the part with all the fighting and the cool shit. That's the part where Oppenheimer quotes,
and where Will Smith helps Matt Damon learn to golf.
I don't. What?
The Legend of Bagger Vance.
What does that have to do with?
It's based on that.
Oh, I don't. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, I could see that. I didn't even put that together. Yeah. So he would. Okay, so yeah. That makes sense. He would be Krishna, and then Matt Damon as Bagger Vance would be Arjuna. But anyway, yeah. So when you read that, there's like every time you go one book earlier. So if you find earlier text, like the text that you read now is. Let's just say one of the brothers showed up on the battlefield and with one swipe killed 900 soldiers. Another swipe killed. So at the end of the day, 2 million soldiers are dead. But if you find older fragments, it's like, well, he killed like 9 guys in the morning. He killed like, right. And then you go back to an older fragment. It's like one guy got his leg hurt. Like it's just like this. Yeah. So it's like in the first, like if you get like the Bible version 1.1.1, it's, on the first 3,000 days, God created him.
Yeah. We got to spice this thing up.
Yeah.
More bodies.
I like that moment. It kind of reminded me of Tree of Life a little bit. That was a cool little sequence.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you see again the Cain murder thing. It's done like their shadows in front of this backdrop of like stars and like sort of the evening or something like that. But this time when Cain slays his brother, it becomes like this whole thing where like it's the brother is falling and becomes all these other like soldiers and all these different people that have died throughout history or something. Basically, that this murder is mankind's legacy. And it was a little out of place for the rest of the movie.
Especially when you had modern
when they're
uniforms
you're
on,
seeing like European or like Napoleonic like World War I soldiers. Like, wait, what? Like, because it just focus on this, man. Like, I know that yes, that you're doing this whole mankind is inherently evil thing, but if you're trying to do this whole like environmental message and man's bad, like doing man is constantly murdering and going to be throughout history too, was just like a weird tangent. It's like either just make this point, like in the context of the story, or don't, because it just felt added on and like, oh well, I know everyone's going to make it out of this okay because all these people in the future are going to get murdered. So thanks, Noah.
For a heavy-handed movie, that one I think went over the top with the heavy-handedness. It was just it was a little too much. Especially the modern stuff was we get it. We get what you're doing here, Aronofsky. Calm down. There's also, if I may dust off an old chestnut of the John Alex hate stuff, Harry Potter. There is another movie in which Emma Watson is involved, in which someone tells a bedtime-esque story, done in shadow puppet style, about the origins of things, and that being Harry Potter with the Deathly Hallows story.
Oh yeah.
Which, I'm not saying you change the movie for that, but there's a lot of nerds out there that are going to think about that, and that's kind of takes away slightly from the gravity. And the scene in Harry Potter was better.
Sure.
That's not. Maybe it is. It's one of the few scenes I like in those movies.
But yeah, so it's again, it's this thing where it's like, okay, I don't know why we're watching this now. Like, it's an amazing set piece, and it's great, but like, because basically the movie has ended. The movie of them like getting on the Ark and killing everyone has ended. And now you get this sort of interpersonal family drama.
There's still 45 minutes left. There
is an hour left.
Yeah, that's why I referenced earlier. This movie really slowed down here. It goes to a fucking halt.
And I like what it does here. I like the whole thing because then it becomes this story where Noah's convinced. He's like, no, this got to end with us. Illa finds out she's pregnant. He's like, if you give birth to a daughter, I'm going to murder it. Because
I've got the line here because I love it. He goes, if you bear a girl, the moment of her birth, I will cut her down.
Yeah.
Oof, that is brutal.
Yeah, and it's just like the guy who believes he is chosen, and for all, as we've seen, is, or at least the creator is smiling on him in some fashion. To allow, that allowed him to get this far. That what does that mean? Like, how far will he go for this faith? And how much it is him just like interpreting his dream to mean this, or is he actually supposed to be doing this stuff? But the problem is that I just spent an hour in a fantasy movie, and I don't want to do this now. Like I'm spent.
I like both movies, but them being smushed together, I'm out of energy, and especially it's being out of energy from that first bit because that movie ends, and now we're watching a movie that's emotionally wrought, and that's too much of a pivot.
But because you also didn't set up your characters really. I mean, as far as the Bible goes, like there's not necessarily, I don't want to say characters, but usually it's just this guy did this. Okay,
yeah,
you know what I mean, like really this early on. But like, so all we know about these people, like Shem's got a wife, Ham's horny. That's it. Like these don't seem like fleshed out people. So asking us to really identify with them and the struggle, it's hard for me to get on board now.
Yeah. And especially now you have to get on board with Russell Crowe being a fucking maniac.
Yeah. Which I do like that turn, but it just didn't, because it wasn't the movie. It was a completely different movie up to this point. It didn't feel right. Yeah, it's
difficult. It's difficult to take, and it sucks because this is watching this out of context, I think would be really cool. But it's
almost like Highlander to Highlander 2: The Quickening, where you're like, okay, I see what's going. Now they're aliens.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of throws you for this loop. But yeah, I agree that in theory, I like the ideas presented here a lot. But it just was a completely different movie.
Yeah.
And again, and at this time also you have Ham, who's still, insane with horniness, finds what's his butt, Tubal-Cain, hiding out. And Tubal-Cain's like, hey, help me out here. I'm going to eat some of your animals, and you're going to heal me, and that's going to be cool, homie.
Yeah, at this point, there's no real reason for Tubal-Cain to feel like there's nothing. You offer literally nothing.
Yeah, which is, I think, again, part of why I wasn't buying his sales pitch. It's like, why are you still here?
Yeah,
don't care.
Back when you had an army full of meat and girls, okay, I could see the attraction. But now you're some asshole with a broken leg that like hangs out in steerage with the cattle. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, man, you help me out, I will jerk you off. $5, no problem.
That's true. I mean, we don't know what happened up there. Yeah.
But yeah, it's so that's this bubbling thing in the background.
This is another reason this part really sucks. Not sucks, but is just smashes the movie against the wall. There's this short section, and then it fast forwards 9 months.
Right. Yeah.
So it's basically the movie ends, you get like 2 scenes, and then it's fast forward 9 months. Yeah. Which is, now we're completely unmoored from the original movie we watched, an hour and a half.
Yeah, I feel like I'm getting an epilogue to an epilogue to an epilogue.
It's like the end of Lord of the Rings, where it's like, really? Oh my God, we got to go back to the Shire? Oh Jesus, now they're going to boats? Oh, come on.
But I at least spent 3 movies with these people.
Yeah, it's true. This is... Yeah, at least they gave me a reason to care a bit.
Yeah, but I did like the moment where, because Jennifer Connelly, Neiman's like not having it. She's like, this is awful. Don't do that. Don't murder this baby. And handsome Squidward and Illa are like, we're getting out of here. And they build a raft to try to escape, and then Noah burns it down.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Because you're like, oh shit, Noah's bad now. This is going to be great. And then it's fine.
This really, every part of this just reminds me of the election cycle. We're just trying to build a boat. We're just trying to survive, and then just fucking
one more thing. One person in Nevada can't count, and we're stuck here even longer.
Just somebody in a red baseball cap just burning the boat down.
Yeah.
The next kind of thing that happens is Ham has agreed to help Tubal-Cain kill Noah.
Yes.
Because Noah is going to murder the babies, assuming they're women.
Well, yeah, it's more that like he's gonna wife block him again. He can't fuck that baby. And he's pissed about it.
Oh, I mean, I guess that really is what it is.
It's basically he spent time kind of nursing Tubal-Cain, and Tubal-Cain has talked him into like, no, his way is garbage, my way is better. And so let me take over, and I'll make sure things go right, and I'll get you a wife eventually.
Yeah, and
I don't know that it's directly tied to the babies, but
it's got to be. They're going to be the only one around. So in 13 years, he's going to be in that.
Yeah, Illa gives birth to.
Oh well, I mean, the fight happens first, where.
No, the fight doesn't happen first.
Yeah, it does.
No, because the birthing happens, and then because knowing that, because Shem knows that Noah's going to kill the babies.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. I forgot. Yeah, I was skipping the birth part. I was getting to the on the ship part. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, no, yeah, because she gives birth to a baby, and it's like her water breaks, and Jennifer Connelly's delivering the babies, and then you don't know who it's going to be. She's like, "Come on, penis. Come on, sweet money." But you don't know what the sex of the baby is, or the gender of the baby, and so Illa's like, "All right, double or nothing. I'm going to have another one." And it's twins. And so another one is coming out, and dang, they're both snake eyes, 2 sisters.
And Ham's down there going, "Wait, twins?
Twins." So like, now he's going to double kill him. So that's already happening. But then Ham's like, "Hey, all the animals are eating each other." And I was like, "What? That's crazy." He's like, "You got to come see it." And he does. And that's when Tubal-Cain attacks. They start fighting. And then Shem is like, "You ain't going to kill my babies," hops down to fight Noah, not really realizing that there's this third guy there. Like, all of a sudden, he's just blind with rage. But then they manage to hit a mountain, and it kills Tubal-Cain.
Okay, but Tubal-Cain is the most incompetent fighter ever.
Yeah.
How do you you don't even know he's there. Why would you just stab him in the back? Oh boy, that was...
I think he wanted the son's betrayal. You know,
Yeah. Oh, and also,
just,
wait, that part, why does Ham end up stabbing Tubal-Cain?
because he's like, yeah, I feel bad about this when this is happening. This feels
Yeah, because
bad.
there's no character development that leads to
Yeah.
that. It's just, I guess I'll do that now.
But it also, like, I don't know if that's their excuse for having Ham get sent away rather than have Noah be like, you saw my dick, you got to go.
Yeah, that's actually in the Bible, because in the Bible, Noah becomes like a hardcore drunk.
Yeah, no, we talked about this already.
Did we?
I
Oh,
did,
no,
yeah.
you said he became a vintner, or whatever,
Yeah,
and got drunk.
yeah,
Oh, no,
he-
I just wanted to make it clear, like, it wasn't just he got drunk that one time and they saw his dick. Like, this was like given his age, he was probably drunk for like 100 years or whatever.
There are people that argue that this was the reason that happened in the first place, is that this was like no one had ever had wine before. And this was Noah's first attempt. Like, this was basically the first drunk anyone ever got.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, people are idiots.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so Tubal-Cain gets killed by a rock.
Mm-hmm.
Which, getting killed by a rock. Talk about religion, huh?
Yeah.
That was a better joke than I thought it was going to be, and I probably should have committed to it more, because actually that was somewhat clever. Russell Crowe's like, man, all right, just got some murdering done via my god and a rock. I guess I'll go upstairs and kill some babies.
Yeah, I got a streak. Let it ride.
Gotta kill me some babies.
So he gets up there and Illa's like, hey, don't kill my babies when they're crying. Let me calm them down. And Noah's like, that's cool. And then she starts singing the babies the song that he taught her. And he's like, oh, damn. Oh, no. I can't kill a damn baby. And then he doesn't.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here.
Well, that just felt so, like, anticlimactic. Not that I wanted to see the baby, but it's not even like his moment. It's just like, nah.
Also,
I'm not gonna kill a baby.
they're gonna, okay. Those babies are gonna get killed, is the idea here. Why does no one else in the family try to stop him? And I don't mean by words, I mean stab his leg or something.
Yeah,
What-
well, Shem tried, but then, I don't know.
But he barely tried. He tried like Shem's like looks, he's not as big as Russell Crowe, but he's like a grown person. Like, stab his leg. What are we doing here?
I don't know if the idea
and you're
is
gonna
that-
die. You're dooming humanity because you're
Yeah.
too afraid to stand up to your dad. I mean, I guess it's the Old Testament. I guess that's the whole story. But
Right. But I don't know if it's also because, like, well, we kind of found this land, so, apparently this is what the creator wills. I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of, again, just sort of like glossed over. Hey, he said he's going to do it. He's going to do it. I kind of tried and he stopped me, so I've done everything I can.
I guess I just don't like
It's the
obeying.
first Democrat.
Yeah.
Heyo.
I guess I just don't like obeying arbitrary rules because, like, what's God giving me here? Like,
Yeah.
oh, cool. Hey, you know what? Because you're so nice to me, you get to be part of genocide.
Well, and then
I mean, does God promise heaven back then? I thought heaven was like a New Testament thing.
yeah, I don't know.
Because it seems like they're not getting anything out of this deal.
Well, they're getting to be stewards in God's new land, and
For what? A couple hundred years and then humanity dies? That sounds terrible.
yeah, but they get to live fruitful lives together. And isn't
No, not
that
fruitful.
the real
They
heaven?
can't be fruitful, nor multiply.
Well, I mean, they can. I mean, fruitful is in the
Growing
work
fruit?
that they're doing.
Just
yes.
getting drunk, looking at Noah's Wang.
Yeah. Look at this. And then this they do solve the question of seeing his nakedness because he was drunk and passed out rather than like pants down being like I could make it go in a circle. Woo!
Yeah, which is what it is in the original in the Torah.
Yeah, in King
Yeah, that's
James.
actually the
Yeah.
origin of circumcision. He was just swinging it around. He got caught on the
Like,
on the side of a broken wine bottle.
He's like, oh, God. Got caught in Ham's braces.
Yeah. He's like, oh man, well, no, I did that on purpose. I'm a moil, and that's how things are supposed to happen now. So
Dope.
let it be known.
But so after they hit land, it like again jumps forward. Another epilogue. Noah just goes into isolation and is drinking himself stupid while his family like works and builds houses and stuff.
Okay, yes, that is the point. But so Emma Watson, when he like falters, she's like, well, God put you there because you're the type of person that could make the decision. He wanted you to choose.
Uh-huh.
And it seems like Russell Crowe believed that.
Yep.
So why is he self-isolating?
Because he still is ashamed of what happened, and
he's just too much of a coward to kill the kids.
basically.
So that's a great lead character. I'm glad there's someone I can get behind in this movie.
Well, because I mean, I think because his wife, has basically said like, if you'll be hated, and so I think he just.
I'm just saying conviction of your beliefs is conviction. I just, sorry.
Right.
I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, it doesn't. Well, and then like he runs away to go get drunk in a cave, and then when he comes back, because the boys find him and cover him up, and then like he kind of gets woken up, and it's like, oh, okay, and then just like goes back and like, hey, hooray, we did all this work while you were drinking, but we're glad you're back now, I guess. You lazy gold brick.
I mean, not that much work. They barely like built anything. Like there's nothing there.
They did more than he did.
They hung like a tapestry. He invented fucking winemaking. Are you kidding me? Those lazy pieces of shit
Well,
put up a tapestry.
But it seems like in this that those were like that they brought those jars along. That already existed.
No, because he held grapes in that one time. I thought that was a reference.
Oh
to
no, you're right. No, because he does. Yeah, he does find grapes. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. All right, so also in this spot, why does Ham leave?
Because Ham, because Ham is disappointed in seeing his father so naked.
But I mean, he lives in a cave. Who cares? He's not disappointed by his dad pussing out and being a drunk in a cave. I mean, I basically lived with that guy when I was at home. My dad was in the basement being drunk, and I was embarrassed all the time. I didn't leave.
And now you moved halfway across the country. Yeah.
Do you think Ham went to Portland?
Ham went to Portland.
Yeah.
So we have Ham Thorne. I got nothing. But so he's kind of like, well, the guy that told me I can't get me a bang made, and screwed up my life is living in this cave. This sucks, and I'm gonna blow. Like, you guys got this family thing going on. I'm this odd man out. I'm gonna go to the other side of this island because there's nowhere else to go. They don't really talk about how all the water subsiding.
They are on the top of Mount Ararat, technically. Yeah. So there's not much else to do. And
I'm just going to go over there.
He's got his brother there too, who's got no one to bang. So like either they could pair off and just go industrial strength homosexuality, or at least they can go somewhere together. Yeah.
Well, his brother's still a child, so it's not, he still knows that his brother's not ready yet, but he's got that bang urge.
Yeah, that's true. And I guess if he knows the story of what happened after the garden, I mean, maybe he could just walk and just find a random city full of people.
Yeah, there's
the writers of the book
people
forgot to figure out.
Created that
forgot to tell us
about.
Emma Watson talks Noah back into being a family man again, basically, and he goes back up and whatever. He reconnects with Jennifer Connelly by touching her hand while they're tilling in the dirt like a bunch of animals. And then he blesses the grandkids with that snakeskin thing, which goes back to my whole, is this movie anti-Jew propaganda? Because they're supposed to be shape-changing, serpent people, according to David Icke.
Supposed to be.
Yeah. Well, according to David Icke, they are.
Yes, right.
So he blesses them with the snake thing, and it like makes them glow or whatever, so it gives them super Jewish powers. Super Semite. And then there's a double rainbow all the way.
Well, what's funny is that, so the rainbow that's supposed to be God's, the sign of God's promise to this, explodes like it's the Death Star exploding. It does that kind of horizontal wave, not just look at that rainbow. It's more just like God activates a super rainbow power.
Yeah. Well, maybe that was it. Maybe maybe all that rain was like the Death Star had dropped all the sewage and because that was a big ass. There must be a lot of water on that station.
Or maybe God's like, it's Pride Month up here. I'm sorry, what's going on down there?
So double rainbow all the way, and I mean, the end of the story is, unless God creates more humans, which you'd have to do anyway. Humanity is going to go extinct unless they start fucking their sisters. So happy endings.
Don't worry about it. Don't think about it.
Yeah, don't think about it. I just want to be clear here. I was being very insulting to the believers of the Old Testament. and I think I threw some shade at the New Testament and a little bit on the Islamic books. Any other belief system that believes in a literal book, I think you're stupid too. Just to spread this all around, literalist beliefs are dumb. You should open that book and just choose any page and go, wait, really? I'm supposed to kill someone that doesn't believe in the same thing as me because that's what it says in that book. Stop it. Be better.
And that's why you should join NXIVM. We don't do any of this like old-timey book stuff.
John, they talked to us about this. It's supposed to be a soft pitch. Soft pitch.
Yeah, I'm extremely soft.
Oh, yeah, well, not me.
Yeah, so that's the Bible
Double
for you,
Rainbow.
everybody.
That's it. Yeah, it's very much a Darren Aronofsky film.
Yeah, I didn't even feel like it. Like parts did, but I don't think like he does epics very well.
Well, I meant it's a Darren Aronofsky film because it's kind of a bunch of stuff slapped together and it doesn't really make a ton of sense.
Biblical
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think it's worth watching, and this is something that I very, very rarely say. I think this is a movie better watched in 2 parts. I don't think this is a sit there through one watching. I think it takes away from a lot of movies, even like when we watch like bad movies.
Yeah.
Like ones that we know are going to be bad. I think it takes away from the experience to break it up into days. And sometimes you have to, but I think
that's why I'm for being in theaters because you have to
force your way through it. Because sometimes there's a chance that the movie turns itself around by experiencing it, like by being there for the pacing. And then 2, I think it's just, it gives it a chance to be worse to watch it all at once. That if you're going to hate it, you're going to hate it for a real reason. But this one, I think would be very much improved by breaking it in half, or even just breaking it from when they get on the boat and then watch the rest of it as a separate movie or something. Cause they don't stick together well, though I did like both halves.
Yeah. I would just say watch the, see if you can find a clip of the, Tale of Creation story sequence, and that's near good.
Yeah, watch that. Watch the part of the Deathly Hallows where Emma Watson talks about the Elder Wand and the Tale of the Three Brothers.
Yeah,
watch that next.
I just didn't get much out of this. And like I said, I liked that. I always say that I like movies that go for it, and this certainly went for it. But I kind of wish it would have stuck with one movie. I wish it was either this high fantasy throughout or this interpersonal drama about faith, but the slamming them together just didn't do it for me.
It's fine for the most part. Nobody but the one handsome kid. Everybody's good at acting except the handsome kid, and Emma Watson I don't think is particularly a good actress. But she was a good child actress, I get, but she doesn't do anything for me as an adult. But that sounded gross. You know what I meant. I meant it as an actual movie. I make so many gross jokes. I just want to make sure that was actually a comment on her acting.
Right.
But I think it's worth a watch, but don't go out of your way for it.
Yeah.
All right, John. So for next episode, I think we should do not so much the children of God, but the children of men. Yeah, it's a really awkward segue.
Who are they?
Well, they are the...
the Jackson 5?
Oh, no. I'm not going to make that joke either. No, I'm talking about the Alfonso Cuarón 2006 motion picture.
Oh.
Which stars Julianne Moore, Clive Owen, Chidwell Ejiofor. Oh, I almost got that right, God damn it. And other people. Yeah, 2006. It is about the future, where children are in short supply.
Where children are of men.
No, you're thinking of Junior, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, I've never seen this movie.
Children of Men?
Yeah, never seen it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's why we're watching this. I forgot. Sorry, that was 2 weeks ago we talked about this. You can't expect me to remember that far back.
Right.
That was 7 scandals in one election ago. I cannot possibly remember that.
That's true. And we're talking about our own internal scandals.
Yes, and our own internal elections.
Yep.
Yes.
I won again.
I've elected to be a doughy middle-aged guy that's struggling to keep up with things.
The thing is, we have a fair election, but with the agreement that ties go to me. So.
Yes, mostly. Nope, not going to make that joke either. Yeah, all right, we're doing that. Alfonso Cuarón, 2006, Children of Men. Watch it, and we'll get back to you.
Yep.
All right, bye.
Bye.